Good afternoon, Rallycross fans, and a very warm welcome to Pembrey Circuit, the home of motorsport in South Wales, just a few miles to the west of Llanelli for round 3 of the 2024 Autosport International BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross Championship. Pembrey, one of the spiritual homes of the championship. It's the second day of a double-header weekend, the first of 2 double-header weekends for the Clubmans Rallycross Championship at the Welsh venue in 2024. My name's Dave Atwell. I'll be taking you through the action this afternoon. Before the lunch break, we've already had 2 rounds of heats, and we'll take you through the results and stats from those as we go on through this afternoon. We'll be seeing action from round 3 of the heats and then the A finals a little later on. Just over 40 cars here this weekend, competing across 6 different classes. I saw some great action back in March at the opening round of the season up at Blyton Park in Lincolnshire. The championship visits there again for round 4 at the end of June. They go on to Liddon Hill, the home of Rallycross, in August. Another doubleheader here at Pembrey in September, and the finale in Scotland at Knockhill in October. Fred Ling, the reigning overall champion with his Ford Fiesta ST, not contesting the full series this year. He's focusing on other interests, so we will see a new champion for 2024. Currently leading the points overall after round 2 yesterday is Ben Bartlett from the junior rallycross category in his Suzuki Swift. He's the only driver to have won both A finals so far over the 2 rounds held this year. So he's out in front at the moment in the overall points chart, which will be confirmed online after this event in the next few days by Jordine Crooks, championship coordinator and championship manager John Rook. But we are getting our first race of the afternoon out onto track then. It is the MOT Group and MRF Tyres production rallycross category. A total of 5 cars entered in production, the class aimed at the newcomer to rallycross. Yesterday it was Martin Peters in the Citroën Saxo who took the win. He had 2 heats and a final. Alex Fletcher, the reigning champion in the Wera Tools Honda Civic, who will be the first car up to the grid here, was the winner of the other heats. Martin Peters had a heat win in Heat 2 this morning. Heat 1 was won by Mark Henry in his Alfa Romeo 147. So Alex Fletcher will lead the grid for Heat number 3, race number 15 of the day. Car number 218, the black Honda Civic. We have got the Citroën C2 there, it's number 140. That is Alfie Campbell, one of our newcomers in the C2. The Alfa 147 is number 100, Mark Henry. 626, yesterday's winner, Martin Peters in the Citroën Saxo. And completing the grid, number 68, Dan Griffiths with his Citroën C2. Cars of up to 1600cc make up the majority of the production class field. A few with 2-litre engines. There are subclasses based on engine size as well. 2-litre cars run in Class B, the 1600cc 16-valve run in Class A. So Griffiths, Campbell and Peters are all Class A. Mark Henry and Alex Fletcher are Class B. The junior cars just lining up for their next race on their dummy grid behind the 5 production cars there. Juniors all in Suzuki Swifts, including our overall championship leader Ben Bartlett in the blue car. So the heats will be run over 4 laps. Short, exciting races in rallycross, proving you don't need a massive field of cars for a good motor race here at Pembrey. The cars will head off the line into the right-hander at Hanson's. Of course, the Hanson family, great rallycrossers. Kenneth Hanson and his sons Timmy and Kevin. They then head through Paddock up to Carter's Hairpin into the back straight, Speedway Straight as it's known, although to my knowledge Speedway's never been held here at Pembrey. Then down to Brooklands Hairpin, the chicane at Toyos onto the infield. And then through towards Senna's and Ollie's. I think I called the name after Ollie O'Donovan, the great Irish rallycrosser, to the end of the lap. But the start and finish lines are in different places here at Pembrey. The finish line is between Toyos and Senna's. That's where we'll see the checkered flag go out. So effectively the heats are 4.5 laps here at Pembrey. It's like the old Brands Hatch circuit, if you remember back in the 80s and 90s. The start and finish lines are in different places there. So the marshals calling the cars forward to the grid then for our first race of the afternoon. This is round 3 of the heats. And your best 2 results in the 3 heats determine your grid position for the finals later on. Everybody gets a chance to compete in a final. I think it's just A finals today. We did see the cross cars have a B final yesterday, but a couple of withdrawals have led to the number of cars being sufficient to just have an A final. So it's Alex Fletcher on pole, Mark Henry and Alfie Campbell on the second row. And then the third row will be Martin Peters and Dan Griffiths, the two Citroens. 2020, I think it was, we saw a production class driver win the overall championship. That was Dale Ford with his Citroen Saxo. Just waiting for the marshals to get the grid into correct order then for this 4.5 lap heats number 3. Rallycross, for those of you not initiated with the sport, is effectively a mixture of rallying and racing. The races take place on a mixture of the tarmac surface and loose surfaces on the infield here at Pembrey, over the old runways at this former airfield. So waiting the all clear from the marshals. The weather rather clearer than it was yesterday. We had typical Welsh weather here for round 2 yesterday. But things thankfully clearing up for today. Alex Fletcher, the reigning production class champion in the Loughborough College run car, sponsored by Wera Tools. Starting as the favourites along with Martin Peters, who was runner-up in the championship last year, and Mark Henry was third. So we get the all clear from the marshal, who will clear the grid. It's time to go racing here at Pembrey. First heats of the afternoon for production. Waiting for the lights to come on. Green light is on and away they go. Down towards the first corner. It's a good start by Alex Fletcher. The cars will turn right. We're on the anti-clockwise layout today. They ran clockwise yesterday. Fletcher leads the way in the Loughborough College Honda through towards Paddock. Mark Henry gets away well up into second. And newcomer Alfie Campbell has dropped to the back of the field. Through towards Carter's hairpin and then into the back straight. That hairpin used to be much tighter. They go a little further along the tarmac straight there. Up towards the left-hander. This is Brooklands hairpin, named after the UK's first ever race circuit in Surrey. Mark Henry putting Alex Fletcher under pressure as they go through the Toyo chicane. Those tyre markers there showing where the finish line will be in 4 laps' time. Through Senna's up towards the tighter left-hander at Ollie's. Martin Peters keeping pace with Mark Henry in the Alfa Romeo. Top 3 from last year's championship out in front. Dan Griffiths in the Citroen C2 in 4th. Alfie Campbell is 5th. I think Dan Griffiths' car is the ex-Tom Brooks car, the motorsport journalist and commentator, one of the voices of the Formula E Championship, among others, these days. He's done a few rallycrosses in his time. So out in front it is Fletcher as they go down the back straight once again. Mark Henry gets the tighter line into the left-hander at Brooklands. And it's into Toyos over the old runway we can see there, the concrete surface. And then through towards Senna's, the left-hander. One time Ayrton Senna held the outright lap record here at the Pembrey Circuit as Martin Peters locks up and runs wide into Ollie's. Yes, believe it or not, Formula 1 cars have been tested here back in the early 90s, and it was Ayrton Senna who set the quickest ever lap of Pembrey back then. I think that was in the McLaren in 1993. British Formula 3 used to visit here. In the early 90s, a couple of times the British Touring Car Championship raced here. They're at Donington Park today. Down the back straight we go. Alex Fletcher continues to set the pace in heats number 3 for the MOT Group and MRF Tyres production rallycross category. The car prepared and maintained by students at Loughborough College. Alex Fletcher, one of their lecturers, was very pleased indeed to take the title last year. That front tyre looks a little bit suspect on Mark Henry's Alfa Romeo, the Buckinghamshire driver. His 2 sons, Max and Harry, will be cheering him on from the sidelines, I'm sure. Martin Peters third in the Saxo. Dan Griffiths keeping pace in with the leaders in 4th position as they go onto the back straights. Alfie Campbell a little bit further back in his Citroen C2. Martin Peters was the winner yesterday of round number 2, taking the fight to Alex Fletcher for the production title. Of course, all the classes have their points combined together to give the overall champion at the end of the season. And due to the quirk of the rules where drivers can only win 1 title each, if you win the overall title, you can't win your category title as well. That's why the overall champion last year, Fred Lee, didn't win the super modified title. That went to Todd Crooks. Alex Fletcher won the production category title though. He's under pressure still from Mark Henry. There's less than a second between them at the conclusion of the last lap. Looks as though Fletcher has just about done enough here. He comes up towards the Toyo Tyres chicane. Up towards the checkered flag this time. There's the finish line. The win goes to Alex Fletcher. Second place will go to Mark Henry. Third, it is Martin Peters. Fourth for the number 68, which is Dan Griffiths. And Alfie Campbell finishes in fifth place. A brief pause while I scribble that result down so we can work out the grids. Three different heat winners today then. Mark Henry took heat 1, Martin Peters heat 2, and Alex Fletcher heats number 3. On to the junior category next, and it is Ben Bartlett's number 444 in pole position. The second row, number 707 Elliot Fuster, and 999, which is Hayden Harris. He had a heat win earlier on. Also out there, number 119, which is Teddy McPherson, and 244 Ty Ratton should be there, the Anglo-Irish driver. He had a heat win earlier as well. It's Ben Bartlett who won the first round. That was after Ty Ratton was given a time penalty for a bit of corner cutting, which lost him his first ever A-final win at Blighton Park in March. So heat number 3 for the junior category, sponsored by AVM Motors. Green light is on and away go the 1300cc Suzuki Swift. Certainly very quick fire, the heats today at Pembrey. Good start by Ben Bartlett in the treble 4. Coming up on the outside is the 999 of Hayden Harris. He's having a good day. Somebody's clipped the tyres there on the inside. Through to second goes Elliot Fuster in the 707, the green and white car. Down to third is Hayden Harris, but away goes Ben Bartlett. Top 3 from last year's championship all moving on up. It was Will Ovenden who took the title last season ahead of Tyler McAlpin. They were never more than a few feet apart on track. Corey Padgett was the other of the big 3 in juniors last year. He's now in super modified with his father. We'll see him out a bit later on. Chase is on for Hayden Harris. Bit of smoke there as he locks up into Ollie's 244. Behind him is Ty Ratton, who came close to victory at, well, he took the flag in first place at Blighton, but was given a penalty. Behind them, the grey car is Elliot Fuster running wide there. The 999 of Harris, he drops to 4th. That's Teddy McPherson at the back there, sorry, not Elliot Fuster. My apologies. They battle their way onto the back straight with Ben Bartlett out in front. Fuster in second place. Third is Ty Ratton. Elliot Fuster running well here. The best he's had this weekend was in Heat 3 yesterday when he finished second. Still looking for his first Rallycross victory. See, he's had some contact as well. The front of the car rather taped together. Nothing that can't be fixed with a bit of gaffer tape. 244 of Ty Ratton chasing hard. It's treble 4, Ben Bartlett who leads the way. Main battle is for second. It's a good run by Elliot Fuster. Yet to take his first Rallycross victory. All these drivers under 17 years of age, some as young as 14. It's the training ground for the Rallycross stars of tomorrow. We have had a junior champion overall in the past. Luke Constantine took the championship overall a few years ago in his Suzuki. Went on to race on the circuits. Through Senna's they come and up towards Ollie's. These cars looking a little bit battle-scarred after the events yesterday. Thrown to the grass there goes Elliot Fuster. He's lost second place. Was there contact there? I didn't see. So through goes Ty Ratton up into second position. One of our newcomers this year. Elliot Fuster new to Rallycross this year as well. Fourth place is Hayden Harris, and at the back it's the grey car. That's Teddy McPherson, number 119. Very scenic circuit is Pembrey down here in the foothills of South Wales, very close to the South Wales coast near the town of Buryport. Bartlett continues to lead. Yet to win today was Hayden Harris, who took heat 1, and Ty Ratton heat 2. Ben Bartlett retired from the first heat with a problem, so needs a good result here to improve his grid position for the final later on. Is he pulling off again? Yes, problems for Bartlett. Or did the flag go out early there?
What the hell?
I'm not quite sure what's happened there, but The timing screen says only 3 laps have been completed.
Did one of them got to go in? 444 went in and they all followed.
Well, by my calculation, that race hasn't finished. I can hear some confused voices from the marshals in the background. It was as if Ben Bartlett pulled off and everyone followed him. So, according to the timing screen, that race still had a lap to go. I do not know what happened there. I've never seen that before. Did the checkered flag go out a lap early? I didn't see the marshal with the checkered flag. So we'll await advice on what's happened there with Junior's heat number 3, because it looked to me as though the field pulled into the paddock a lap early. Yeah, the timing screen definitely says only 3 laps completed, with Bartlett leading from Ratton, Fuster, Harrison, McPherson. That is very strange. I certainly didn't see a checkered flag go out. I thought the race had been flagged early. No, we've had confirmation the checkered flag did not go out, and for some reason the drivers pulled into the paddock still with a lap to go. I've never seen that before.
Well, technically, in the rules, you only do an if you do less laps than the leader. So if the leader does the same number as you.
Okay, we'll wait and see what the officials decide with that one. We'll move on in the meantime to preview our next heat, the SG Haulage Super Modified Rallycross category. We have unfortunately lost a couple of cars from the entry for this one. No Gary Cook with transmission problems, and Todd Crooks, the reigning category champion, blew the turbo on his BMW Mini yesterday, so he's out for the weekend. He won round 1 at Brighton as well. We had a new winner yesterday. It was Cameron Whitley in the turbocharged VW Polo, the red car, but it will be number 62, Phil Chicken, Rallycross veteran in the Citroen C2, who leads the field away. Watch for David Bell in his BMW Mini. He's made a good start, side by side with the number 62 of Phil Chicken, who takes the early lead. Cameron Whitley's up there again, yesterday's winner, his first ever A final in the Polo. So in there we can see the MGZR of Stephen Ratu, and look out also for Roy Chappell, the black BMW at the back of the field. There is Corey Paget, graduating from the juniors this year alongside his father in a similar Citroen C2. Roy Chappell, all the way from Barbados, competing in the BMW Compact, and he's driven that car on the road to the event as well. I hope it survives so he can go home again. Phil Chicken leads. Second place, David Bell. He and his father Tony have been rallycrossers for many, many years. We normally see David in the 4x4 All-4 Mini, but sadly no entries in 4x4 this weekend. Very quick starting car, the BMW Mini. Up there in third, it is the 546 of Cameron Whitley. He used to campaign a Ford Focus in the production category. He's been developing this new turbocharged VW Polo over the last couple of years and scored his first ever A final win yesterday. Had a heat win today as well. Second heat went to Corey Paget for his first super modified win. Corey Paget's raced a cross car as well in the FIA Motorsport Games representing Great Britain. He's having a good go there for third place as they come round towards Ollie's. Has he got through a side by side with the Polo? Corey's father Phil Chicken leads the way in the C2. Came close to the super modified title last year, but a crash in the final round at Knock Hill handed the spoils to Todd Crooks. Sadly, as we heard, Todd Crooks out for the weekend with a blown turbo on his BMW Mini. Still the Citroen of Phil Chicken leads. The BMW Mini of David Bell in second. See the BMW Mini standalone class out next, sponsored by Bone Street Autos. Towards the back of the circuit, and here comes Corey Paget. Tell the two Citroen C2s apart. Corey's has got the black bonnet. Cameron Whitley in fourth place. Stephen Ratu fifth in his MGZR, returning to Rallycross after a few years away this season. And Roy Chappell's BMW Compact is at the back. It's Philip Nagel who raced that car yesterday. The two Barbadian-born drivers sharing the car. Fairly close between our top three. Down into Brooklands hairpin, and Corey Paget up the inside takes David Bell for second place. It's the Citroen C2s, 1 and 2 now, father ahead of son. Now is Corey going to pass his dad and take the win? Got one more lap to go. David Bell in third place. Competed in BMW Mini Sveniers, and Phil Chicken's run a little bit wide there. Corey's through. Excellent from Corey Paget. And with the super modified entry rather blown open this weekend, with some of the quicker cars having problems. Could we see Corey take his first ever round win? The A final coming up later on. This is going to give him pole position, because he'll have 2 heat wins if he just stays in front through this last section. Here he comes ahead of his father. Corey Paget comes in to take the win. Phil Chicken in second place, David Bell third, Cameron Whitley is fourth in the Polo. And then a gap back to Stephen Ratu, who will be fifth in the MGZR. There he is across the line. Roy Chappell should be the final finisher in the BMW. Next we move on to the Bone Street Autos BMW Minis. And on the grid in pole position for them is the number 4 car of David Ellis. Alongside him, on the second row I should say, we have Harvey Harman, number 69, he had a heat win earlier on. Alongside him, number 82, Mark Finch, used to campaign a Fiesta in the Pre-95 Classic division. And the other 2 BMW Minis that are here, 611 is Lynn Llewellyn, the locally based driver, returns to Rallycross after many decades away last season. And number 77, the reigning champion Ben Sayer, completes the grid. Ben Sayer, who needs points here, because in the first round at Blighton he got taken out in some contact with Lynn Llewellyn and failed to finish the A final. He did win yesterday, had a heat win as well. Llewellyn and Harman won the other 2 heats on Saturday. Heat 1 today was won by Harvey Harman, Heat 2 by Ben Sayer. We're underway then with the Bone Street Autos BMW Mini category. All these cars, Mini Cooper R53s, supercharged cars. It's the number 4, the Proctor's Coaches sponsored car of David Ellis that takes up the early lead. He had 2 third places earlier on this morning. There's Lynn Llewellyn, the local man in 611. The Auto Dynamics car chasing the blue machine. That's Harvey Harman, and it's wet. There's rain coming down. It's going to get very slippery out there. Ben Sayer in 4th position, Mark Finch in 5th, and nearly contact there between Lynn Llewellyn and Harvey Harman. Just giving you a bit of a push into the hairpin. Through the chicane they go as the Welsh weather sadly returns. Not as wet as it was yesterday here at Pembrey though. Takes more than a bit of rain to stop the action in the Autosport International BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross Championship though. Sponsored for another season by Autosport International, the racing car show held every January at the NEC in Birmingham. There's always plenty of rallycross cars on display there, and in the live action arena as well. This year in January we had the cross cars out in the arena. Lynn Llewellyn giving chase to Harvey Harman, has a look up the outside. Llewellyn won the first round at Blighton. Ben Sayer won yesterday. The veteran and the young gun could well be battling for the championship this year. But it's David Ellis out in front in the white number 4. Thanks also to MRF Tyres, who are the tyre partner of the championship this year. Ben Sayer back in 4th at the moment in the number 77. Supported by Sayers Road Tankers, the family business. See the wipers going, it's getting slippery out there. All fairly close, bunched up behind Harvey Harman for second place. Back of the field, it's the number 82 of Mark Finch, used to race a Ford Fiesta in the Pre-95 Classic division. We'll see their third heat out next. Somebody clipping the tyres there, I think it was Harvey Harman. As they go through the back of the circuit and back towards the left-hander at Ollie's, and Lynn Llewellyn is still all over the back of Harvey Harman. He just can't get the line away. It's not the easiest circuit to pass on, Pembrey. All the time David Ellis is escaping slightly at the front. Hear the whine of the superchargers on these cars. See the track is getting more and more slick. You can see it glistening. As they bounce their way onto Speedway straights. What can Lynn Llewellyn do this time? He's leaving his braking very late into Brooklands. He has a look on the inside. The back fishtails a little. No, can't get the line away from Harman. This is a good defensive drive by the man in second. And the gap is coming down to our race leader, David Ellis. See what the gap is at the line. It's down to half a second now, according to the TSL timing screen. Great close racing from these very evenly matched BMW Mini Coopers. Used to be a subclass within the super modified division, the Mini Cooper class, but now a standalone class. Running wide there, David Ellis. He got caught out there on the slippery tarmac at Carter's. Gets his foot down Speedway Straight. He's got the straight line speed. Looks like he's going to hang on to take a heat win. We're going to have 3 different heat winners from our 3 heats today for the Bone Street Autos BMW Minis. The third of them, joining Harvey Harman and Ben Sayer, is going to be David Ellis. He takes the flag ahead of Harman. Third goes to Clint Llewellyn. Fourth for Ben Sayer. Fifth for Mark Finch. As quickly as that, they were very well bunched up there, coming over the line. In fact, there was only 1.5 seconds covering the 5 of them. Closest race we've had this weekend. Next up, it's going to be the Melius Limited Pre-95 Classic Division. And in pole position is one of the local heroes, Mark Jones, in the turbocharged MR2. He won the first round up at Blyton Park. Alongside him, the Ford Escort Mark II of Alan Tapscott from Devon. On the front of the grid, look out also for the Lancia Stratos replica of John Cross. He needs a good result here. He retired from Heat 1, didn't make it out for Heat number 2. Tom Edmonds is there in the Vauxhall Corsa on the left of your screen. Jamie McBain in the Peugeot 205 GTI and the Mark 1 Escort of Dan Swayland. He also missed Heat 2. There were only 4 cars out there for Heat 2. One car we have lost, unfortunately, is Darrell Ambrose, the former production racer in his Peugeot 205, the rear-wheel drive Peugeot. That blew its differential yesterday, so we won't see him racing today, unfortunately. Mark Jones won round 1 at Blyton. Round 2 yesterday was won by John Cross in the Stratos, when Mark Jones, unfortunately, had some contact and had a spin in the A final. Finished back in 6th place, so looking to recover here, the owner of Mark's Motors, based not too far away here in South Wales. Just waiting for the all clear to get this one underway. And then after this we will see the cross cars out for their heat number 3. I think their heat is running as 2 separate races, and then the times will be combined together to give a heat 3 results because of the number of cross cars that were here at the start of the programme. A couple of them have withdrawn though. Watch for the MR2 and the Stratos. They're particularly quick off the line. Jamie McBain, who keeps his hand in over the winter with some rallying in another Peugeot 205. Got a couple of 205s in his car collection. Had a class win at Cadwell Park over the winter in a round of the Motorsport News Circuit Rally Championship. That was the Alan Healy Memorial Cadwell Stages. Mighty McBain, as he was called by Motorsport News. Let's see how he gets on here. At the back of the field. Can anyone stop Mark Jones, the Flying Welshman, in his MR2? He's made a good start, a wheel-spinning start for John Cross. Goodness me, that was a full-scale dragster burnout off the line from the Lancia. It's Mark Jones who leads. Alan Tapscott in the Mark II Escort, the classic shape of the Escort, so famous in rallying for many decades, up there in 2nd position. That rain shower seems to have abated, but it's still a bit slippery out there. McBain up to 4th behind John Cross. Shape of the Stratos. It's not a pucker Stratos, that one. It is a replica, a kit car. Alan Tapscott up the outside. He's famous for leaving his braking late. Used to contest the super modified class in a Vauxhall Corsa. Raced in a Vauxhall Nova before then, a rallycrosser for many years. He's all over the back of that mid-engine Toyota MR2 of Mark Jones. Jamie McBain up into 3rd place ahead of John Cross. Don't tell me John Cross is in trouble again. He hasn't finished a heat so far today. He's down to 4th. It's that spectacular bewinged MR2 that leads the way, looking for 2nd A final win of the season later on. Of course, last year it was another Mark II Escort, that of Lee Wood, that took the classic title but lost the overall championship on a tie-break with Fred Ling. We haven't seen Lee out in action yet this year. Jamie McBain all over the back of Alan Tapscott. He's never going to go around the outside at Brooklands, surely. No, he won't get round there in the Peugeot. McBain, who's been improving massively over the last few years in the 205. Right on the bumper of the Escort there as they cross the line. Further back is Dan Swayland in the Escort, John Cross and Tom Edmonds in the Corsa. Great to have Thomas Edmonds back out this year. Had a big crash at Knock Hill at the end of last season. First three have pulled away. They're about 5 seconds clear of John Cross, so whether the Stratos does have a bit of an issue still. Still a bit of rain coming down, slipping and sliding out of Carter's onto the back straight. A little bit of smoke from the escort there of Alan Tapscott, and McBain's going to get down the inside. He's going through up into second place. Has Tapscott got a problem? Yeah, that smoke wasn't there a lap ago. Mark Jones under fire now from the Peugeot. Look at the weight Jamie McBain is going. Mighty McBain, could he take the lead here from the MR2, that turbocharged Toyota MR2, one of the super modified class it used to be. Through the loose section past the paddock up towards Carter's. Mark Jones, a former 395 Classic champion. Two green machines down Speedway straight. Here comes McBain. Is he going to outbrake him into Brooklands? That's brave. Going for the outside in the 2:05. He's done the fastest lap of the run. 46.158. His quickest lap. He's all over Mark Jones here. Goes for the outside again. Jones is not moving off that inside line. They're side by side. The 2:05 swoops around the outside. Oh, brilliant from Jamie McBain. Right the way around the outside, the MR2. That's the move of the weekend. Possibly the passing move of the season so far. I didn't know you could get round the outside going into Ollie's. And away goes the Peugeot. He's absolutely flying. Living up to his new nickname from the rallying world, courtesy of Motorsport News. Mighty McBain is away and clear. Peugeot down towards Brooklands for the final time. And has Mark Jones met his match? It certainly looks like it's the green Peugeot of number 183. Jamie McBain, a superb drive, comes in to take the win in heat number 3 for the Melius Limited Pre-95 category. Jones second, Tapscott third, and they're way ahead of the rest. Wait to see if John Cross comes in for 4th place. It should be him home next in the Lancia Stratos clone. Yes, there he is, but a subdued performance, and Dan Swaylen zipping round the outside there, and he snatches 5th on the line from Tom Edmonds by 0.04 of a second. Well, certainly the liveliest race of the day so far. But next up, we're going to see the split heats for the SGS Gases FIA cross cars, the little buggies. Let's have a look at the grid for this first one. Pole position, we should see number 3, Max Weatherly, used to campaign a Suzuki Swift in the modified category. He's driving a Life-Live TN11. Number of manufacturers of these little 600 or 850cc buggies, and some intriguing names, it has to be said. The second, also on the front row, number 6, Jack Newman. He won round 2 of the championship yesterday in his FIA Speed Car Wonder. The second row, 581 David Kane. He had a heat win earlier on this morning in the MV Racing buggy. And alongside him, number 55, Richard Rees. He won round 1 of the championship at Blighton. Second yesterday in the Mégane XC04. Mégane, the French manufacturer, best known for their Formula Ford single-seaters over the years on the circuits. The 2 others we'll see in this half of the entry, effectively. Number 818, Lewis Gatt. He's in a Life-Live TN5. And number 501, David Atwell, familiar to Rallycross fans as piloting a Vauxhall Nova for many years. He's now in a FIA Yakar Cross SXC. Where do they get these names from? So it looks like Max Weatherly in pole position. David Atwell in his familiar bright blue colours. I'll apologise for any missed calls in this one because it is tricky to see the numbers on these little buggies. Thanks, Max Weatherly, the 73, the white and red car. Black and green, it's number 6, Jack Newman, looking for his second A final win of the weekend today. Last year's champion, Will Butler, not out this weekend. Beat David Atwell by a single point to take the championship. Is that it? Are we going with just 4? I can see more buggies moving in the background, but of course they're running a split heat and then combine the times together to give the overall result. So Just waiting to see if any more are going to be signalled forward from the assembly area. Here comes another one. No news on what's going to happen with that junior heat that we saw the drivers take it upon themselves to apparently conclude a lap early. So up to the grid comes, that's the 55, the black and blue car of Richard Rees. And the orange car there, I think he's 581 David Kane. Had a heat win earlier on. The second heat went to Jack Newman. So they're both out in this race. The rest of the entry we'll see in the split into part 2 of heat 3. Okay, the marshals clear the grid. Wait for the green lights. The SGS Gases FIA cross cars are underway. Listen to the howl as these motorcycle engine machines head down towards Hanson's for the first time. Flying up the inside there, the number 55 of Richard Rees, but it's number 6 Jack Newman who leads into the first corner. Sounding like a swarm of angry wasps as they head round on this first lap. Newman from Rees, Max Weatherly in third place. There's the 818 of Lewis Gatt. David Atwell didn't get the best of starts there. He's at the back. They may be rather unorthodox looking machines as number 55 barges his way into the lead of Brooklands. Richard Rees gets ahead of Jack Newman. They've been the quickest drivers over the course of this weekend, as they were at Blyton in round 1. Max Weatherly going with them. Mad Max, as we call him, had a win at the end of last season here at Pembrey. And they're chased by the number 581, that's David Kane. Quite a few drivers from Ireland have made the trip to race once again. Great to have so many of the cross cars out here. They look unorthodox, but they sound brilliant, and they provide very close racing. Not if you're Richard Rees, though. He's clear in front, the winner of round 1 at Blyton. It was Jack Newman second and Gareth Greer third on that occasion. He's cocking a wheel there, Max Weatherly, as he clips the curb. He's certainly the quickest machines here this weekend. Well, they weigh virtually nothing. Max Weatherly putting Jack Newman under pressure for that second place. Onto the loose they go. You can see the rain as abated again. It's getting a bit dusty out there. Weatherly sideways through Paddock. And up towards Carter's once again. This is great stuff. And the SGS Gases FIA cross cars. I'd love to see these machines do some sand racing on one of the beaches of South Wales at Pendine Sands or something like that. That'd be great fun around there. David Atwell is 5th. Have we lost Lewis Gatt? I didn't see the 818 in the background there, the black and yellow machine. Jack Newman still giving chase in second place, holding off Max Weatherly. The gap was 1.8 seconds to Jack Newman, though out in front in the 6 in the speed car Wonder. Probably wondering where his opposition's got to at the moment. So Lewis Gatt is still going, just a few seconds further back. Sliding their way through Carter's onto the Speedway straights. That's somewhere else that these little machines would be great to see. Maybe on a speedway track doing some oval racing. Speedway in cars, anyone? Well, they were pretty good around the oval indoors at the NEC in January, the Autosports International show. And some French and Spanish drivers come over to compete with the best of British there. Max Weatherly driving very sideways indeed out of Hanson's. Through Paddock towards Carter's. On the last lap now, it's looking good for Richard Rees in the number 55. Newman in second. These two have been the class of the field pretty much all weekend. Jack Newman only 7th in Heat 1 earlier on today. Winning this section of heat number 3 is going to be Richard Rees. He takes the flag ahead of Newman. 3rd is Weatherly. 4th is Kane. 5th, David Atwell. And in 6th position further back, it will be Lewis Gatt in the number 818, but it is number 55, Richard Rees in the Miguel, the French-built machine that takes the win. And the other half of the entry coming out to conclude heat number 3, and then we'll be into the A finals here at Pembrey, as Lewis Gatt takes the flag a few seconds further back. Here's the other half of the entry then. Number 23, the former champion Luke Holly is on pole. He's had a quiet weekend so far. Alongside him is number 721, that's Gareth Greer. And the second row will be number 32, which is Stephen Burke, and 88 alongside him, which is Alex Waterman. We've lost a couple of cars from this one. Number 21, Chris Rowley, broke down yesterday, while number 29, Liam McMullen, unfortunately rolled in Heat 1 earlier on this morning and is out of the event. He is okay, we're told, but sadly taking no further part in this event by the look of things. I reckon Gareth Greer, 721, the red and black car on the outside, will be the one to watch here. Luke Holly hasn't had the best of luck this weekend so far, the champion in 2022. He is outpaced off the line by Greer in the red and black number 721. Gareth Greer in the speed car Wonder. Luke Holly is in a Yakar Cross SXC. Behind them we've got the 88 of Alex Waterman. Number 32. The 88 is a Life Live TN5. The 32 of Stephen Burke, a Yakar. The smaller half of the entry, with a couple of cars having withdrawn from the events. No answer to the pace of Gareth Greer. He was third in round 1 at Blyton, fifth yesterday behind Newman, Rees, Kane and Max Weatherly. Luke Holly having a better run here in second place. The times from this group of cars will be added to those we saw in the previous race to give an overall result for heat number 3. Battles for third here, number 88 of Alex Waterman under fire from 32, Stephen Burke. Stephen Burke had 2 third places earlier on, so has to improve here. Don't forget your best 2 heat results from the 3 heat races are what determines your grid position for the A final. Now, yesterday in round 2, the cross cars had to have a B final because of a slightly larger entry. It was Luke Holly and Lewis Gatt who finished first and second in the B final, with Alex Waterman third, the top 2 going on the back of the grid for the A final. We won't see that today because there's only 10 cars competing today, so all 10 go through to the A final automatically, because we've lost Chris Rowley yesterday, and of course Liam McMullen has withdrawn after his crash in Heat 1 today. Luke Holly's car doesn't seem to be transponding at the moment, not showing up on the timing screen. Still there in second place. No answer to the pace of Gareth Greer. Weaving about there, the 88 of Alex Waterman. He's catching our second place man, Luke Holly. Our reigning champion, of course, Will Butler, not here this weekend, beat David Atwell by a point in the final round at Knockhill last season. The FIA cross car class growing in stature all the time. Gareth Greer is out of sight of everybody else. Timing screen showing the checkered flag's gone out after 3 laps. I don't think that's correct. I think the issues with Luke Holly's transponder causing an issue there. But the battle is still on for second place. It's going to be a win for Gareth Greer. Luke Holly, can he hold on for second place? There's Gareth Greer. He's coming in to take the victory. Luke Holly, I think, will come over in second place. It's a long way back. Third goes to the 88 of Waterman. Stephen Burke at the back, just putting a wheel onto the grass there over the line. So a bit of confusion on the timing there. That was because Luke Holly's transponder wasn't working. But the results will be calculated by the timekeepers. There'll be a short break while the grids are now worked out for the A finals. And we'll bring those to you as soon as we can. But that concludes the heat section of the third round of the 2024 Autosport International BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross Championship here at Pembrey Circuit in South Wales. Quick hello to those of you who are watching. Hi to Gregor McLennan, who asked, has production raced yet? Yes, the production category has had their third heat. It was won by Alex Fletcher. Mark Henry and Martin Peters all taking a heat win. We'll have the final grids for you a little later on. We also have a super final today with the leading runners in all classes out together, and a series of super finals this year. The most successful driver on aggregate at the end of the season across all of those will be awarded the Dixon Trophy. First time that's been awarded in memory of Gemma Dixon, a great friend to the BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross Championship over the last couple of years. Sadly passed away over the winter, and Gemma is remembered with the trophy for our most successful super final driver over the course of the season. No points will be awarded for super finals. It's all classes in together. We see our first super final of the season here at Pembrey today. Championship moves on. At the end of June, we go back to Blyton in Lincolnshire. And then it's the big one at Liddon Hill in August down in Kent, the home of Rallycross, where the first Rallycross ever took place in 1967 down at Liddon Hill, won by Vic Elford, a great all-round racer in a Porsche 911. The car still exists. Saw it at the NEC a few years ago. Then it's a double-header at Pembrey, September the 7th and 8th. And then on October the 20th, we go to Scotland for the finale at Knockhill. So South Wales, Scotland, the far southeastern corner of Kent and Lincolnshire. The four venues couldn't be further apart, really, could they? Thanks again to all our volunteer marshals and other officials. Couldn't go racing without the Orange family. All our marshals, also the recovery drivers, the medical staff, everybody else as well, all the officials from the BTRDA. So the heats are now concluded. It'll be down to the officials off track. We mentioned Championship Manager John Rook, Coordinator Jordine Crooks. Probably her husband Todd will be helping out as well, with his car sadly out of action for the rest of the weekend. They'll be on the calculators, working out the grids for our A finals. As soon as we are ready to go with A finals, we will be back with you to take you through. The first of those should be for the MOT Group production category. That should be an interesting one. Three potential winners, I would say there. Martin Peters, Alex Fletcher and Mark Henry. Plenty of action still to come here at the home of motorsports in South Wales. While we have this short pause, we can head down into the paddock where our interviewer Steve Nottage has been catching up with a couple of the drivers.
Here in the paddock I have number 218, Alex Fletcher, in the production class. Normally to be found in the lecture hall at Loughborough College, but at his weekends, he takes some of his learners with him, and they're hands-on. So, Alex, busy weekend so far?
Yeah, very busy. Obviously, like you say, we're normally in the classroom back at Loughborough, but part of their course, they have to come along and experience this. This is part of one of their units where they're prepping the car and obviously doing all this side of things on a live race vehicle. So, it's real key that we get that done. So, we've got 8 learners with us, mix of male and female learners. And it's been a great squad this weekend. They've been on all the setup changes. Yesterday was very tricky conditions, very wet in the morning and drying in towards the afternoon, and it was very tricky for our car. Our car's not great in the wet, but there are on changes all day, literally coming in, getting the information off the car and everything. They were brilliant. They've been really brilliant. They've done us proud this weekend.
And as you say, very busy, and with Gary Cook's car as well, also in the team, having a few mechanical woes.
Yeah, so unfortunately he sustained some quite heavy damage yesterday, some contact from another driver, and that bent the rear axle, so they were trying to get that sorted so it could just circulate today. They did that, they did it within a couple of hours, and he went out today and unfortunately the gearbox let go, so we suspect it's something from the impact. You know, it spun the car. You know, a lot of torque in the wrong direction through the gearbox. So we think that's affected that, and unfortunately that's wrote his day off. So I'm left there flying the flag. So no pressure.
Well, you say that, but obviously all the way through both yesterday and today, you've been very, very close racing with Mark Henry in his Alpha and with Martin Peters in his Saxo, and you could throw a towel over the track and catch all three of you. You've been so close. So when you say there's no pressure,
yeah, exactly. It's been brilliant. I mean, racing with Martin and Mark, we've been, like you say, so close. It's been great fun. We've come off the track every heat just grinning ear to ear and laughing at each other. So yeah, brilliant. It is really respectful racing. We've not had any. I mean, yesterday I think I gently touched Martin into turn one and he didn't even know I did it. So yeah, I apologised to him and he was like, "What for?" Like, "Thanks for leaving me room." I was like, "This is all too gentlemanly." So yeah, no, it's great that we've got two guys. Well, the whole grid is great in production now. It's lovely clean racing, and yeah, what we want.
And so I think it's possibly the first evidence of a stealth nudge.
Oh well, quite possibly. Yeah, like I say, he didn't feel it. So I had a look at his car, and I can't see any damage on it. So I don't know what's gone on there, but no, it's like I say, I had to give him room. So yeah, I was absolutely fine. He deserved that overall win yesterday. It was great that we got the 2 litre win. So that really helps our championship campaign. So yeah, let's hope we maybe go one better today and get the overall win. But who knows? We've got changeable conditions above us. It keeps spitting with rain and then sunny, and yeah, so typical Wales.
Well, very much so, and typical Rallycross. We race in whatever the weather throws at us, and we're looking forward to seeing the final a little bit later on.
Yeah. No, yeah, exactly. It will be a real interesting one. I've got one eye on the skies, and I really don't know what to do with the setup. So all the students are behind us now, itching, ready for me to tell them what to do. So yeah, but brilliant. We'll see what happens.
All the very best, Alex. Thanks for talking to us.
No problem. Thanks, Steve. Cheers.
The weather's constantly changing here in now a little sunny Wales, and with me is a sunny character, Jamie McBain, with his front-wheel drive Peugeot, which has been going fantastically all weekend.
Yeah, it's gone really well. It's a fresh build for this year, so we had a few issues at Brighton, just new car niggles which seem to have been ironed out, and yeah, it's gone really well so far, touch wood.
Well, you can always expect some niggles, can't you, and a bit of shakedown needed for a new build.
It literally was put together in 7 days as a new car, as a shell, and then literally went to Brighton, no testing, and then yeah, we're back here yesterday for the weather down here, yeah.
And they used to say you can't get quicker than the quick fit fitter, and then you built a whole car in 7 days.
Yeah, obviously we had all the bits sat there ready to go, but yeah, it was pretty much 7 days on the dyno and straight up to Brighton, so yeah.
So consequently, here you are at now sunny, was very wet and windy Pembrey. Can you tell us a little bit about the 205 that you built?
To be honest, it's pretty much a similar build of last year, just a little bit lighter. We stripped the bones out of the car. Different lower arms, same engine, same gearbox, same brakes. So yeah, it's pretty much just a replica, just a newer version. Yeah. So yeah.
And with the conventional gearbox, because you're not allowed sequentials in the classic retro categories.
Yeah. So same gearbox as last year, same ratios, just new shell, new car, new wheels. That's it.
And the same driver with a smile on his face at the wheel.
Yeah. It makes me happy because a lot of work's gone into the car. I know you say 7 days, but they were long 7 days, and to have this little problems we did at Brighton, they could have been a lot worse. And to come down here and do what we're doing this weekend, it's against the rear-wheel drive guys and stuff like that. It's good.
Yeah, and it's good to watch as well with the variety of cars on the grid that you're racing with, where almost everyone else is rear-wheel drive and lots of Fords.
Yeah, no, exactly. To be honest, I think it's one of the best classes. It's the best variety of cars you can go out in class-wise. But the thing is, they're all different cars, but they all run pretty close together. So there's nothing between them.
Yeah. Which makes it fantastic to watch and commentate on, and it's keep it going.
Yeah, it's the battle of manufacturers. Yeah, so it's good. yeah, it's just the old guys seem to have the legs over me still, but yeah.
Is it just a shame that you don't have the manufacturer backing that goes with it?
Well, I can't say too much because the wife's behind me, but yeah, it'd have been nice.
Well, we'll look forward to the final in the classic category a little bit later on. Wish you all the very best for that.
Lovely, thanks a lot, Steve. Cheers.
Thanks for talking to us, Jamie. Cheers. Well, welcome back to the paddock. Here with me is John Cross, running number 99 in his wonderful Lancia Stratos replica. Here we are in what was a few minutes ago sunny Pembrey. We've just had a hailstorm, and who knows what.
We're on slicks on the back and snow tyres on the front. We're ready for anything.
That's what I like. It's that can-do attitude, John.
That's it. Yeah. Well, we're lucky to be still running because the drive shaft that broke in the first heat knocked a hole in the gearbox, which we've just patched up with the chemical metal. And I went out in that last run. I just needed to get a time.
Yeah.
So now we've got a time. That's all right. We'll be in the back of the final, and we'll give it some stick in the final and see if it lasts.
So it's chemical metal rather than the usual duct tape and cable ties, which is the Rallycross stock way of doing running repairs.
Well, you'd need a long cable tie go all the way around the gearbox, but it seems to, you could actually see the gears through the hole. It had worn the side away, but well, it's got two chances. It's been good. You know, it was just the shaft. The shaft, normally the shaft. The whole end of the CV was flailing around on the end of the shaft, and it just hit everything and knocked heads off of bolts and bits out of casings. And so we'll try and win the final from the back of the grid. Nothing to lose, is there?
Well, that would make it a double win over the weekend after a superb result yesterday in the final, and having had greasy, horrible conditions first thing in the morning, and then drying out a little bit during the course of the day.
That's been my tactic so far this year: crap qualifying and get it right in the final. So let's hope we can carry on like that.
Well, it's the finals that really count, isn't it?
Yeah. But every race I go out in, I intend to try and win it, be it a qualifier or a final. But qualifying yesterday was a bit of a disaster. And today, one run, I didn't even bother battling with Jamie when I saw him coming. It was so important to get a time. I just needed a time. Didn't matter where I came, a time will do. So hopefully, in the final, we'll give it some and see what happens.
Because in order to qualify for the finals, you need to have two timed runs one time run of the three heats, and you haven't.
Well, one time run, luckily for me today, because there's not enough cars. You know, if there were more cars, then one wouldn't be enough. But one will do today. Touch wood, and that'll be okay. And if I start last, I can't lose really. The worst I can do is finish in the same position, isn't it? And I can assure you, I have no intention of finishing last.
Well, no. I've known you long enough to understand your thoughts about racing, but you're enjoying it as much, if not more, now than when you were running supercars in the 90s.
It's more relaxed now, but more harder work. But that's probably just I'm getting older and everything tires me out quicker. But I've no intention of stopping just yet. I'll go on to another. Well, as long as I can get in the car, it's a sport you can do sitting down, and it's so you don't even need to be able to walk. As long as somebody can put you in the car, and that's it.
Well, although of course there is that the safety issue that you've got to be able to leave the car within a certain number of seconds. So, but we don't want you to have to test that one, John.
But I think I can get out quick enough. Surprising what a bit of fire will do to speed you up, isn't it?
Oh, please, let's not try that one this weekend or indeed any other time. Thank you very much.
No, it's not an easy car to get in and out of, but I can get out reasonably okay. So it's quite a tight fitting car. You don't have as much sit in it as wear it.
Well, so everything is to hand. It's a very snug cabin in the Stratos.
Yeah, well, we did a complete rebuild over the winter, and we've made quite a few improvements. Nothing drastically you see from the outside. We've lengthened it a bit. It's got a bit more aerodynamics on it now, and a bit of protection down the sides, because last year we had a lot of body contact that was breaking wheels and suspension. So now they'll, before they break my wheels, they'll break their own on the side skirts and other bits and pieces. Well, that's the plan anyway. But
Well, everyone else has been warned.
touch wood, we've done, this is the 4th meeting this year, and it hasn't had a scratch yet. No contact at all, as opposed to last year, almost a write-off every time, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very busy for you last year. Every time out resulted in a fair amount of panel damage and clamshells coming off front or rear.
I think it looks nicer now with the aero kit on, because it's got a bit more of a style to it. They, tapered away to almost nothing. And as you can see where the skirts are, they stick out like 6 or 7 inches more than the previous bodywork, and they're still only flush with the tyres. So you can see how much wheel was exposed.
Yeah.
And interlocking, almost like interlocking in a single seater, really.
Well, of course, Rallycross being a non-contact sport, we're hoping that's not something that you need to try out in anger on the track.
No.
We wish you all the very best for later on. The sun is now shining again, so goodness only knows which tyres you're going to have to put on.
Take the snow tyres off the front and put the slicks back on, or what? What do you recommend?
Well,
As a commentator, I ought to ask you what you recommend and then do the opposite. It'll probably be right, won't it?
that's about right. Yeah. There is that thing about the commentator's curse.
Yeah.
But thankfully, not commentating today. That's over with Dave Goddard back in the studio. Thanks for doing what you're doing, Dave. So I would think you're probably on your dry tyres now for the final.
That's the route of least work as well, because they're already on.
That sounds like a good enough plan, and thanks for talking to us, John. We shall leave you there, and who knows, maybe we'll be talking to you after the final.
Well, it'd be nice to think so, but I think it'll be a bit optimistic, but I'll keep my fingers crossed. You never know.
Well, we know anything can happen in Rallycross.
And it probably will.
And on that note, we'll hand back to Dave in the studio.
Thank you. Cheers, everybody.
Terrific character is John Cross, a veteran of Rallycross in all manner of different machines. Used to contest the European Championship, I remember, back in the 90s with a very modified Ford Fiesta. He's here with the Stratos replica. I've just been working out provisional grids for the A finals. Incidentally, we'll give you the results of the cross cars, as we had to combine the 2 runs that we saw into one result. It was Gareth Greer who was the quickest overall, so he takes the heat win there. Second was Richard Rees, then Jack Newman, Max Weatherly, David Kane, Luke Holly was 6th, then David Atwell, Alex Waterman, Stephen Burke and Lewis Gatt. So we'll try and work out what a provisional grid would be for those. I won't give those out immediately because we'll have to wait for official grids to be confirmed, of course, from race control and the BTRDA officials. Bit of sun now poking through the clouds here at Pembrey. We've had every weather except snow here so far, as we said during the interview there with John Cross. But he's only completed 1 heat, of course. That 4th place we saw was his only finish so far today, so he'll be further down the grid for the A final for the Melius Limited Pre-95 Classic category. With 2 heat wins, Jamie McBain is almost certain to take pole position for that class. For the cross cars, it will be the Jack Newman or Richard Rees on the front of the grid, because you get 1 point for first place, 2 points for second, 3 points for third, and so on. And the 2 best scores put together, the lowest score effectively is what you need. So the lowest you can get is 2 points. That's what Jamie McBain's got. So cross car, the lowest scorers I think were Newman and Rees with 4 points each. Newman had a first and a third, his best 2 results, and Richard Rees 2 seconds. In production, we've got 3 drivers, all with a win and a second place from the heats, because Martin Peters, Alex Fletcher and Mark Henry, they were top 3 in all 3 heats today, but in a different order each time. It's as if they're dividing up the honours, and then they'll go all out for victory in the final. I've just been sent a grid sheet. That's perfect timing. Thank you to the BTRDA officials.
Yeah, we'll try and be on the
Scribble
same side
those
of the
down
path,
now.
so
It's Martin Peters who will be on pole for production, ahead of Alex Fletcher and Mark Henry. Second row, the 68 of Dan Griffiths and the 140 of Alfie Campbell. Just got a few moments here to scribble these down. The Junior A final, we had a bit of confusion over Junior Heat 3, so I'm not sure we've got a result confirmed for that yet, because for the way I saw it, everybody went into the paddock with a lap still to go. Now, it hasn't been published as yet, but the Junior A final, we do have a grid. And it's going to be the number 244 of Ty Ratton on pole position, ahead of Ben Bartlett's number treble 4. Of course, he failed to finish the first heat today. Teddy McPherson will be third on that grid, then the treble 9, that's Hayden Harris, and 707 Elliot Fuster. While I scribble down the rest of the grids, we can head back down to Steve Nottage in the paddock, who's talking to a couple of other drivers.
I said earlier on that the weather in Pembrey, South Wales, is very changeable, and here now with me in the sunshine is Dave Atwell with his wonderful cross car 501. Dave, with a little beastie like this, I guess it's much better if you're driving in dry conditions, because otherwise you get wet and muddy, don't you?
Oh yeah. Especially earlier on, we had heat 1. We went out, we do a rerun, and it rained in between, and it was night and day. It was, in the dry, it's push in, and you can push the cart, you can corner at higher speeds. As soon as the wet comes out, that's it. As soon as the track gets wet at all, greasy, slippery, half the speed, you're all in the same boat. Setups are different, but yeah, no, they are a handful. Yeah, very much a handful, but keeps you on your toes, keeps you going. Yeah, but no, definitely challenging, very challenging.
They certainly look a handful watching from outside, and I can only imagine what your feet are jumping all over the pedals, and a bit of opposite lock here, there, and everywhere. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, you're being chucked around. It's like being on the back of a buckaroo. But yeah, you're bouncing around, and got to go careful. You're not gonna have contact with the car in front, and try and keep your driving standards clean and tidy. And which, unfortunately, this weekend we've had a little bit of, but it's hopefully it'll iron out if we get told off enough. But yeah, no, it is very, very different to the Nova, obviously, when I'm out in that normally. But yeah, no, it is fun when it's going well and it's working well. It's fantastic. So yeah, but yeah, I can't explain the driving one to people until they've driven one. Really, very, very much an eye opener. So, but yeah, we need to get some few changes now with the ECU and stuff. Get to the FIA spec as everyone else, or not everyone else, but the way we're going. Yeah, lots changed in a year. Got some quicker boys here now, giving us a bit of competition and a run for our money.
Yeah. Well, it's been noticeable that numbers have swollen a lot for this season in the category, which is great to see. And several of the new guys to the grid, and there could be girls as well. Please. But certainly several of the new guys have been racing these vehicles in Ireland in sprint events and hill climbs.
Yeah,
have you got any thoughts of doing other disciplines with the cross car?
I think we're going to possibly go to Mondello in May to do the swearing at the BTRDA event, but to do the Five Nations. We're going to go and do that, but yeah, hopefully get to Ireland, go and maybe do some sprints over there and see how these guys do it, because they've come here and certainly shown us how to do it over here. So yeah, we'll definitely be going over there and seeing how we get on, and yeah, and basically it's all a learning curve. They come here and learn, we go there and learn, and then we all come together and learn. So yeah, no, it's definitely definitely something that's gonna moving on. If the driving can just be tight, like I said again earlier, tidied up, and we can all get around without having to hit each other off, then we'll be fine. So yeah, just keep the driving standards clean and we'll all be okay. We're all here to have fun. So yeah, that's it really. Yeah, it's just pretty much yeah, just good like I say, good experience. I recommend it to anybody.
And if someone wants to join you guys on the grid, I believe there might be one available.
Yeah, we've got 2 or 3 in the country now that are available. Car cross cars. We've got lots of different, obviously, manufacturers now, whichever you takes your fancy. We've also got a hire car, so if there's someone wants to hire one, obviously they just contact us, and yeah, we can get them a seat, you know. But yeah, more people the better. Definitely more people the better. Then we can definitely get the grids bigger, and you know, make it more. You know, more is better, obviously. But yeah. But no, there's definitely carts available, and again, purchase or hire. So yeah, definitely.
So you've heard it for yourselves, straight from the horse's mouth, if you don't mind describing it as old words. So if you want to join us in future rounds on the BTRDA, please do get in touch, and the more is the merrier.
Yep, definitely more the merrier. Come in and have some fun. Yeah, definitely.
Right, well, back to the studio and have fun.
Thanks, Steve. Good to hear from David Atwell there. He's getting ready for the SGS Gases cross car final. Just before we continue with giving you the grids for our A finals, I'd like to wish a very happy birthday to Ben Slater, who's celebrating his birthday today. That's with lots of love from your partner Steph and all your many friends in the rallycross world. I know Ben's a big fan of classic minis. He's got quite a few in his collection, so we hope to see you on the pre-95 classic grid in one of them in the next season or two. Many happy returns to you, Ben. Hope you're having a great day. Meanwhile, we're going to give you the grids for the finals here at Pembrey, round 3 of the Autosport International BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross Championship for 2024. The grid for the MOT Group production final, Martin Peters, number 626, will be on pole, ahead of Alex Fletcher and Mark Henry. They all finished on 3 points from their 2 best heat finishes. Second row will be Dan Griffiths and Alfie Campbell. Pole position for the junior category. I can tell you the result was declared at heat 3 at 3 laps. That's a rather bizarre situation we saw when the field all pulled into the paddock after the end of lap 3, thinking the race was over a lap early. Ben Bartlett took the win ahead of Ty Ratton, Elliot Fewster, Hayden Harris and Teddy McPherson. It is Ty Ratton who will have pole position for the final ahead of Ben Bartlett. McPherson will complete the front rank. Second row will be Hayden Harris and Elliot Fewster. Pole position for our SG Haulage Super Modified final, it will be 326 Corey Paget, 2 heat wins and a second for him. Alongside him will be Cameron Whitley in the Polo. 93 David Bell completes the front row. Second row 62 Phil Chicken, and the 79, that's Stephen Ratu in the MG ZR. Third row will be Roy Chappell in the BMW Compact, and hopefully we will see the Mercedes SLK V8 of Richard Moore. That only came out in heat 1 today, so whether he's had a problem with that car, I'm not sure. He was second yesterday behind Cameron Whitley. It's quick but fragile. That's Mercedes SLK. Had 1 final win last season. So hopefully we'll see that car out at the back of the grid. We won't see Todd Crooks, as we already know. We also won't see Gary Cook. We heard earlier from Alex Fletcher that his gearbox has failed in the Fiesta. He's already headed back to base. The BMW Mini, sponsored by Bone Street Autos. It will be Ben Sayer in pole position. Alongside him, Harvey Harman and David Ellis. Second row will be Lynn Llewellyn and Mark Finch. Ben Sayer needs a good result here because he got taken out of the A final with some contacts at Blyton in round 1. He did win yesterday, so this is his chance to move himself into championship contention. Melius Limited pre-95 Rallycross category. Jamie McBain with that very rapid Peugeot 205 with 2 heat wins. He's on pole for our A final. Alongside him, number 12 Mark Jones and 91 Alan Tapscott. Second row will be 24 Tom Edmonds in the Corsa and Dan Swaylands Mark 1 Escort number 22. While with only 1 heat finish, John Cross will start from the back. We lost 1 car in that category yesterday. Darrell Ambrose's Peugeot 205, the rear-wheel drive Peugeot, blew its differential yesterday, so a non-starter today. And in the cross cars, the grid reads as follows. Richard Rees will be on pole, number 55, alongside 6 Jack Newman and 721 Gareth Greer. Second row will be 581, that's David Kane and the 32 car of Stephen Burke. Row 3, with this 3-2-3-2 grid, 73 Max Weatherly alongside 501 David Atwell, who we just heard from, and 23 Luke Holly. The final row, 88 Alex Waterman and 818 Lewis Gatz. So that's your grid lineups for our 6A finals. And then we will see later on who comes out for the super final. First of our super finals this year, which will see the most successful driver receive the Dixon Trophy in memory of Gemma Dixon, a great friend of the championship over the last few years. We're just awaiting the all clear to get back underway. We are very shortly. So we're about to go into the A finals here at Pembrey for the 2024 Autosport International BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross Championship Round 3 here at the Pembrey Circuit, the home of motorsport in South Wales. The first of those finals will be for the MOT Group MRF Tyres Production Rallycross category. Defending champion is Alex Fletcher in the Honda Civic Type R. He won the opening round up at Blyton ahead of Martin Peters, Mark Henry and Dan Griffiths. Those 4 cars all on the grid here. It was Martin Peters who won round 2 yesterday ahead of Fletcher, Henry, Griffiths and Alfie Campbell with the white and red Citroen C2. This will be a 6-lap race as opposed to the 4 laps in the heats. The car's just waiting to be signalled forward onto the grid by the marshals in our assembly area. Main event stage at Pembrey every year, of course, the British Truck Racing Championship. They make 2 visits a year. And the big rigs will be back soon, just a few weeks' time here at the Pembrey Circuit. Okay, looks like we get the thumbs up from the marshals. We've got our 5 cars there. Pole position goes to Martin Peters in the number 626 Citroen Saxo. He was the winner yesterday, took 2 heats and a final. Alex Fletcher had a heat win yesterday as well. 3 different heat winners today. Mark Henry with a victory in his Alfa Romeo in Heat 1. Heat 2 went to Martin Peters and Heat 3 to Alex Fletcher. Will we see a surprise? Can Dan Griffiths cause an upset here in the Citroen C2? 3 4th places in his heats. He beat Mark Henry to 3rd in Heat 3 yesterday. Alfie Campbell, a newcomer, just learning his craft. Onto the grid then for the first of our A finals here at Pembrey, the MOT Group and MRF Tyres Production category. 3 different heat winners across the front row. Pole position, Martin Peters in the Saxo, Alex Fletcher in the Honda Civic Type R, Mark Henry in the unique Alfa Romeo 147. They all had a heat win earlier on. This will be a 6-lap A final. Who's going to be our first final winner of the day? The marshals to be satisfied that they're all in the correct position on the grid. Here we go then, the marshals clear the grid. Time for our first A final of the day. The MOT Group and MRF Tyres Production category. Revs begin to rise, green lights are on, and away we go. Good start by Mark Henry from the outside the front row in the Alfa Romeo, but it is Alex Fletcher in the 2-litre Honda Civic Type R will lead into Hanson's corner for the first time. Henry up into 2nd place, and the pole sitter Martin Peters relegated back to 3rd. Mark Henry will have a look as they go down towards Carter's corner for the first time, but it's the Honda of Alex Fletcher who's got the lead. Dan Griffiths in fourth position. I think we may have lost Alfie Campbell. I'm not sure he got away off the line, but it is the Honda that leads the way. Alfa Romeo second, the two Citroens in third and fourth places. Martin Peters ahead of Dan Griffiths. Alex Fletcher can hang on in front. This will be his second A final victory of the season, chased by Mark Henry in second place. Gearbox problems here at Pembrey in the penultimate round of last season stymied his efforts to take the production championship, and he's sideways there as they come through Hanson's and towards the Paddock section. Then up towards Carter's once again. The Loughborough College Honda, sponsored by Weira Tools, leads the way. The man from Leicestershire ahead of the Buckinghamshire driver Mark Henry in the Alfa Romeo. Sporting the sponsorship of Demon Tweaks on the side, of course, in the last few days, the founder of Demon Tweaks, the great club and national level racer Alan Minshaw, sadly passed away at the grand age of 88. He'll be greatly missed by the motorsport community. Martin Peters up there in third place, got a little swamped off the line. Mark Henry going well up there in second place. Alfie Campbell sadly didn't get away at the start. And Griffiths in a safe fourth position. 0.9 of a second was the difference between first and second places, with Peters a further 0.6 back. Martin Peters playing catch-up, shows just how evenly matched these three cars and drivers are. But once again, the students from Loughborough College, the motorsport studies students, will be very pleased indeed after this one, with their car out in front. Their lecturer Alex Fletcher at the wheel. Of course, the other Loughborough College Weira Tools car has already left with a broken gearbox. Gary Cook's Ford Fiesta ST in the super modified class. Not had a lot of luck so far this year. First three pulling away now from Dan Griffiths in fourth place in the C2. There's still a little bit of rain coming down. It almost appears that it's sunny on one side of the circuit and raining on the other. We're used to that at Silverstone, but not at Pembrey. Typical British weather, everything at once. Wipers going on Mark Henry's Alfa. These three are going to have a very close fight towards the production title this year. Fastest lap of the race by Alex Fletcher, 43.947 seconds. He's 1.25 seconds clear of Mark Henry. The difference between Henry and Peters is 0.4 of a second. Fletcher pulling away just a little bit then. Last lap was only a couple of tenths quicker than Mark Henry. A unique Alfa Romeo 147. Certainly the only one of its kind in Rallycross. We saw the 147 GTA in British touring cars in the early 2000s, of course. There's Dan Griffiths in fourth place, the little Citroen C2. If I remember correctly, a certain Sebastian Loeb started his rallying career in one of those. He sits about 3 seconds off Martin Peters. 4 laps completed, 2 to go in the MOT Group MRF Tyres production A final here at Pembrey. Round 3 of the Autosports International BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross Championship for 2024. Alex Fletcher controlling the pace. Mark Henry tracking his every move, just can't get onto level terms. They're so evenly matched, these three cars. Martin Peters got rather filled in at the start. Through Brooklands, into the Toyo chicane. Towards what will be the finish line in 2 laps' time. Through Senna corner, up towards Ollie's. Gap has come down a little bit, 1.16 seconds is now the gap, and Griffiths has in fact just done the fastest lap of the race, 43.399. Again, that shows how evenly matched the field is. The car in fourth place with the quickest lap. But he's closed on Martin Peters, and Peters in fact has dropped away a little bit from the top two as they go over the loose there at Paddock. Leaders out of Carter's. Mark Henry's not finished yet. Has some sore memories of Pembrey after his gearbox broke on the last lap of the penultimate round last season and cost him a shot at the title in the final round. Alex Fletcher well and truly on it there. Over the line he comes and the checkered flag goes out. He punches the air as he crosses the line. Mark Henry comes over in second place. Peters in third. And Dan Griffiths at the back in 4th place, but he does get the fastest lap of the race. It's Alex Fletcher who takes the win. Ahead of Henry, Peters and Griffiths, and we move on to the AVM Motors Junior Rallycross category. Pole position number 244, Ty Ratton. He had a heat win earlier on, as did Ben Bartlett alongside him, the championship leader, the overall championship leader in number treble 4. Completing the front row, 119, Teddy McPherson. Treble 9, Hayden Harris on the second row, the blue car, also had a heat win earlier on. He starts alongside 707, Elliot Fuster. So 3 different heat winners. Ben Bartlett, the only driver to have won both A finals in rounds 1 and 2, so he leads the overall championship. The AVM Motors MRF Tyres Junior Rallycross category. 1300cc Suzuki Swifts for all the drivers out there. The green light is on and away go the young guns. Bit of wheel spin there from pole sitter Ty Ratton. It's going to be a bit of a squeeze here into that first corner. Has Ratton got the advantage? Yes, he has. Ben Bartlett tucks in behind him. Side by side for second. Good start by Teddy McPherson, but he's on the wide line for Paddock. He gets a bit of a push from Hayden Harris. It's Ty Ratton who leads the way. So battle is joined once again between these two, as we saw in round 1 at Blighton, where Ty Ratton took the flag in first place, but got a penalty for cutting a corner and was demoted to second behind the treble 4 of Ben Bartlett. Can Ratton take his first ever A final win here? First 2 going clear. Third place is Teddy McPherson, holding off Hayden Harris. Elliot Fuster in 5th position. Through ollies they go for the first time. Hayden Harris all over the back of the 119 there for 3rd. The blue and yellow livery there, clearly a bit of a tribute to the Subaru World Rally Team colours. Made famous by so many rally drivers over the years, probably most notably Colin McRae. Similar blue and yellow livery for Ben Bartlett as well. Elliot Fuster, the green and white machine. Bit battered and bruised, bit of contact yesterday. Keeping pace with the other runners. The first 2 have pulled away slightly though. What's the gap as they go over the line? 0.4 of a second between the 2, and they're 2.5 seconds clear of the battle for 3rd. In this AVM Motors MOT Group and MRF Tyres sponsored junior final. 14 to 16 years of age, these young racers. We have seen a junior driver take the overall title in the past, Luke Constantine with his Suzuki Swift a few years ago. Ben Bartlett, can he make it a hat-trick of A finals? He's all over the back of Ty Ratton, the Anglo-Irish racer, as they go into Brooklands towards Toyo. See who gets the quicker lap this time through as they go over the line. Yeah, fastest lap for Ben Bartlett. I thought he looked the quicker. He's got the gap down to 0.2 of a second now. 43.663, his fastest time. It's only 0.3 of a second off the best time in the production A final that we've just seen. Over the loose, into Paddock and then to Carter's, back onto the tarmac, then down Speedway straight. 3 seconds clear of their opposition. Still McPherson 3rd ahead of Harris and Fuster. Bartlett and McPherson, the only 2 drivers to have raced last season. Ben Bartlett was 4th in the points last year, so starting as the favourite this year, with champion Will Ovenden, Tyler McAlpin and Corey Padgett having all moved on up. Padgett will be out in the next race, the Super Modified A final, and he'll be on pole position there, so certainly something for these junior drivers to look up to. And Ben Bartlett's all over the back of Ty Ratton. These 2 renewing their rivalry from round 1 at Blighton Park. Round 2 yesterday it was Bartlett who finished ahead of McPherson, with Ratton in 3rd place. Harris 4th and Fuster 5th in round 2. Now can he get a run on him here down into Brooklands? Ben Bartlett goes to the inside. No, Ratton moves to cover. Great racing between these 2, and there's 3 of them going for 3rd as well. Hard to know where to look in this Juniors A final, sponsored by AVM Motors, MOT Group and MRF Tyres. Superb stuff. 1/4 of a second in it between the 2 leaders. They're nearly 5 seconds clear of their opposition now. Can Ty Ratton hang on for a first A final win and end Ben Bartlett's unbeaten run this year? Teddy McPherson has got through into 3rd, still ahead of Hayden Harris. 5th place is still Elliot Fuster, but he's not far away. Could be in for a cracking finish here. Ty Ratton, is he going to hang on? Leaders down at Brooklands. Ratton just ahead of Ben Bartlett. Out of Toyo, over the line to start their final lap. New fastest lap for Ty Ratton, 43.156. He's responding to the pressure from Ben Bartlett. Bartlett did his personal best, 43.228. There's 0.3 of a second between them. Kind of pressure Ty Ratton into a mistake. They go further and further ahead of Teddy McPherson in third place. Brilliant racing from our junior stars. The leaders are on the back straights, heading down towards Brooklands. Is Ben Bartlett going to be close enough? No, he's not. I think Ty Ratton has just about done enough. This is going to be close on the run to the line. Ben Bartlett right in his wheel tracks, but it's going to be Ty Ratton if he gets out of this final corner. He's done it. Ty Ratton takes his first ever A final win. Second goes to Ben Bartlett. 0.24 of a second, the gap between the two of them. Teddy McPherson will come over in third place. Fourth goes to Hayden Harris, and fifth to Elliot Fewster. Cracking racing from the juniors in our AVM Motors and MOT Group MRF Tyre sponsored junior rallycross final. It's Ty Ratton, his first ever A final victory. We now move on to the SG Haulage Limited Super Modified A final. And it should be Corey Paget on pole position in the Citroen C2, the double heat winner, but it looks like he's not there. I hope he hasn't had a last-minute problem. Cars that are there on the front row, the VW Polo is Cameron Whitley, yesterday's A final winner. Completing the front row, David Bell in his BMW Mini. The second row, 62, is Phil Chicken, father of Corey Paget. Alongside him, number 79, Stephen Ratu, should be there in the MG ZR. At the back of the grid, Roy Chappell in the BMW, the black car. But we're missing our pole sitter, Corey Paget, and the race gets underway without him. 5 cars on the grid then. It's David Bell who gets away well, always a quick starter, the BMW Mini. He'll lead into Hanson's for the first time. Second place is Cameron Whitley, yesterday's A final winner. Phil Chicken in third. What a disappointment for Corey Paget. Double heat winner and a second as well. The other heat's going to Cameron Whitley's Polo. There's Roy Chappell at the back of the field at the wheel of the BMW Compact. Told he drove that car on the road to the event today, hoping it survives so he can drive home again. David Bell it is who leads in his BMW Mini. I've seen him out in the 4x4 category last season in an all-4 Mini Countryman, but sadly no 4x4 entries this weekend. Second place Cameron Whitley in the turbocharged VW Polo on 3 wheels there as he goes through the left-hander at Ollie's. Phil Chicken upholding family honour now with no Corey Paget out there. In third in the Citroen C2. It's a battle between these three then. Cameron Whitley, I think if he wins this, he could take the lead of the championship, because of course round 1 winner Todd Crooks out of action with mechanical problems yesterday. Blown turbo on his BMW Mini, so he's had to sit today out. The reigning category champion, David Bell, is flying in his BMW Mini out in front. He was the man who pioneered BMW Minis as a rallycross car several years ago. Instrumental in the setting up of the One Make series for them, prepares a number of the cars. First 3 well clear, then it's Stephen Ratu in 4th place, Roy Chappell's BMW in 5th position. Lead gap was just under a second that time through. David Bell flying out in front, was 2nd in round 1 at Blighton, was 5th yesterday, having won a heat. Phil Chicken is taking some risks into Brooklands there, as is Cameron Whitley. You see him lifting the inside rear wheel on almost every corner on the little Polo. Who they come towards Ollie's. That's the wrong way if you were a truck racer through Senna's there. There's Stephen Ratu. Good to have him back in Rallycross for the first time in a few years with his MG ZR. Running steadily in 4th place. He was 4th yesterday as well. It's been a bit of a weekend of attrition for the super modified class. We've mentioned Todd Crooks. We lost Gary Cook's Fiesta as well with gearbox failure. Also Richard Moore, who was 2nd yesterday, the Mercedes SLK. That's only managed 1 heat today. It's a fast but fragile car, sadly, that one. There is Roy Chappell. It was Philip Nagel who raced that BMW yesterday. He the two men from Barbados making a guest appearance in the championship. Of course, Barbadian motorsports enjoying the headlines thanks to the successes of single-seater racer Zane Maloney internationally. Phil Chicken is all over Cameron Whitley here for second place. Still your leader is David Bell, throwing the BMW Mini around. 3 of them covered by 1.5 seconds at the line last time through, coming through to complete lap 4. Through Brooklands, up to Toyo Chicane. Cameron Whitley is getting closer to David Bell. The gap was 1.23 seconds. Let's see what it is this time through. 0.8 of a second, so he's gained nearly half a second, Cameron Whitley. It's taken him a year or two to get the VW Polo fully sorted, but sorted it is now, and he's flying. Phil Chicken, Rallycross veteran, up there in 3rd place in the Citroen. Further back, Stephen Rutter, who's some 13 seconds back in 4th place. Just between these 3 now for victory in our SG Haulage Limited super modified category. Sometimes, as we've seen David Bell take an A final victory. It's a little wide there on the run into Brooklands. He's got the fastest lap of the race, 41.71 seconds. There's Stephen Ratu in 4th place. The leader's into his last lap. Phil Chicken has just done the fastest lap of the race, 41.275, slightly quicker than David Bell. And now Stephen Ratu, he's being caught by Roy Chappell, so the battle is on for 4th position. The battle's on for 1st, 2nd and 3rd. Can they catch David Bell on this final half lap? Off the loose, out into Carter's. To come Cameron Whitley, now he's got the Polo wound up. Can he get close enough? Bell gets his foot down onto the straights. He surged down towards Brooklands. Cameron Whitley late on the brakes, up on the curb, almost onto 2 wheels. I don't think he's quite going to do it. I think David Bell has done enough. They're coming up towards the checkered flag, and it's a win for David Bell in the BMW Mini in our super modified final. Cameron Whitley, a profitable weekend for him. He takes 2nd. Phil Chicken is 3rd. And then further back, we'll wait to see who comes in 4th. Still a close battle going on between the MG ZR and the BMW of Stephen Ratu and Roy Chappell. It's the ZR that comes in 4th place. Chappell is 5th. So a close fought race there for the super modified. It's a shame we didn't quite have a full field. Not sure what happened to Corey Paget. We're looking forward to see what he could do off pole position. We'll move on next to the Bone Street Autos BMW Mini Rallycross final, also supported by MRF tyres. Pole position is the reigning champion, number 77, Ben Sayer. He had a heat win earlier on, heat number 2. Alongside him, the winner of heat 1, number 69, Harvey Harman. Winner of heat 3, Dave Ellis in number 4, completes the front row of the grid. Second row, 611, Lynn Llewellyn. He won round 1 at Blighton. And completing the grid, 82, Mark Finch, the ex-Pre-95 Classic and Production racer. He had a Clio in production, Ford Fiesta in the Pre-95 division. Five BMW Mini Cooper R53 supercharged machines out there. Lynn Llewellyn returned to Rallycross after over 30 years away here at Pembrey in the autumn last year and promptly won an A final in a borrowed car. Enjoyed it so much he's come back for a full season this year. Ben Sayer, the defending champion on pole. Our Bone Street Autos BMW Mini Rallycross A final. Wait for the green, here we go. Wide of the superchargers as they get away. Good start by Harvey Harman in the blue car. He's going to take the lead into the first corner. Dave Ellis up on the outside. And again, the pole sitter gets boxed in there on the inside. Ben Sayer, he's into 2nd ahead of Dave Ellis. Lynn Llewellyn trying to come through on the outside at Paddock. Through the left-hander at Carter's, it's Harvey Harman who leads the way, looking for his first A final win of the season. There's Mark Finch at the back of the field in the number 82, and a big push there. Lynn Llewellyn clips the back of Dave Ellis. He's been late on the brakes there all weekend into Brooklands. Thought he was going to spin Dave Ellis out. Here comes Ben Sayer up on the outside, side by side, across the stripe into Senna. Harvey Harman in the number 69 car holds on to the lead, but only just. Dave Ellis in that 3rd place. And Llewellyn and Finch 4th and 5th. Very closely matched indeed, these very similar BMW Minis. It's Harvey Harman from Ben Sayer in 2nd place. Union flag on the roof. Down Speedway straight towards Brooklands. A bit of a lock up there from Harvey Harman. Dave Ellis still holding third. Nice and close in this BMW Mini A final. Sponsored by Bone Street Autos, supported by MRF Tyres, the official tyre partner of the championship. Dave Ellis in the Proctor's Coaches car. It's Kevin Proctor, the owner of Proctor's Coaches, won many rallycross and rally titles in his career. Over the bump there at Hanson's into Paddock. Lynn Llewellyn trying his hardest to get ahead of Dave Ellis here for third place. Can he get a run on him down the straight? Can Ben Sayer get a run on Harvey Harman for the lead? Split into pairings. Fifth place is Mark Finch. Lynn Llewellyn still on the bumper of Ellis for third. Bit of smoke there from Mark Finch. I think it was just tyre smoke as he went into Brooklands. Racing for the RAF Benevolent Fund. Ben Sayer still all over the back of Harvey Harman. Dave Ellis in third position. Here comes Ben Sayer almost alongside there as they came out of Hanson's into Paddock. He's got the speed, he just can't get the line away. We saw this in Heat 3, Harvey Harman defending second place as Dave Ellis got away to take the win. He's a very defensive driver, is Harvey Harman. Makes his car as wide as possible, locks up the rear wheel there into Brooklands. Ellis defending as well from Lynn Llewellyn. A little bit of contact between them on the opening lap. Fastest lap of the race by Harvey Harman, 42.259. He leads by a quarter of a second over the 77 of Ben Sayer, last year's champion, the former junior rallycross driver. This is great stuff from the Bone Street Autos BMW Minis. Sayer gets the slightly better run through into Paddock, but he'll be on the outside line for Carter's. Can't get the cutback on Harvey Harman, lifting a wheel there, as we saw Cameron Whitley's Polo doing, out onto the tarmac. Ben Sayer goes to the outside, sticking to the outside into Brooklands. You won't get through there. Couple of laps to go. Ben Sayer all over the back of Harvey Harman, almost pushing him there towards centre corner. Still in third is Dave Ellis. He's defending vigorously from Lynn Llewellyn as well, but it's hard to take your eyes off this incredible lead battle. Still Harvey Harman, a little bit of understeer there as he comes onto the loose at Hanson's. Lifting a wheel again out of Carter's, back onto the tarmac. Ben Sayer right on his tail, he just can't get the line away. Only 0.2 of a second between the two of them, 0.3 of a second for third and fourth place. And again Harvey Harman plants his car on the inside line for Brooklands. He knows that one false move and Ben Sayer will be through. Nose to tail, like an 8-wheel BMW Mini there as they come over the line to start the final lap. Where is Ben Sayer going to make his move? 3-wheel Mini of Harvey Harman ahead of him. Now he's alongside as they come out of Hanson's into Paddock. They're side by side. Sayer gets his foot down. He's going through, surely. And there's contact between the two of them. Sayer sideways. Good save, Ben Sayer. And he's got the lead. I thought they were going to tangle up there. There was contact between the two of them, but Sayer got his foot down, saved the slide. He's got the lead away from Harvey Harman. And Ben Sayer, the defending champion, is going to take his second A-final win of the weekend. A brilliant race from the Bone Street Autos BMW Minis. He's won by Ben Sayer. Harvey Harman comes over in second. Fantastic battle between the two of them. David Ellis holds off Lynn Llewellyn all the way to take third, and Mark Finch completes the finishers. That's the race of the weekend. Brilliant battling, and well done Ben Sayer. That was a great save on the final lap. He managed to get alongside Harvey Harman. There was contact between the two of them. I don't think it was intentional, just a bit of rubbing. Rubbing's racing, as they say. But that was a good save there by Ben Sayer as the car got sideways. He stuck his foot down and managed to correct the slide and went on for victory. 2 A-final wins in a row this weekend for Ben Sayer. That surely puts him to the top of the championship. All to be confirmed in the week, of course. Now, on to the Melius Limited Pre-95 Classic Rallycross category. Double heat winner Jamie McBain in the Peugeot 205 on pole position. The other heat earlier on won by Mark Jones in the Toyota MR2. He's alongside, completing the front row, Alan Tapscott in the Ford Escort. Tom Edmonds on the second row in the Corsa alongside Dan Swayland's Mark 1 Escort. And John Cross at the back in the Stratos clone. Had a few problems in the heats. Watch for fireworks from the back of the field with that machine. Can anyone stop Jamie McBain, Mighty McBain as he's known, in the Peugeot 205 from pole position? The green light is on, and here we go. And what a start by Mark Jones in the MR2. The local man off like a rocket as expected. And he leads the way into the first corner at Hanson's. Jamie McBain in second place, but he caught and passed the MR2 in heat 3 earlier on. See if he can do the same again here. Third is Alan Tapscott, the man from Devon, in his Mark II Escort. Then it's Tom Edmonds in the Corsa. Good to have him back out this year after that big smash at Knock Hill last year. Cross is up to 5th. Dan Swayland completing the field. Mark Jones looking to recapture the title he's won a couple of times in the pre-95 division, but here comes Jamie McBain. He went round the outside into Ollie's earlier on to take the lead from the MR2, but Mark Jones is wise to it this time, the man on his local circuit. Bain in second position. Been doing a fair bit of rallying over the winter, including with Championship coordinator Jordine Crooks in the co-driver's seat on one or two occasions. Bain won his class on the circuit rally at Cadwell Park, sponsored by Motorsport News. Up the outside here on the brakes for Brooklands, but he can't quite shift the MR2. Of course, defending classic champion is Lee Wood with his Mark II Escort. We've not seen him out yet this year, though. Again, McBain up the outside. This is where he took the lead in heat 3. Can he carry the Peugeot round the outside of the MR2? Not quite this time. Tapscott still there in third. Tom Edmonds in the Corsa in fourth position. John Cross back in fifth. Cross won round 2 yesterday in the Stratos when Mark Jones had a mishap and spun down to the back of the field. And Dan Swayland's lovely Mark 1 Escort behind him. Jamie McBain still all over the MR2. Just continually trying to go round the outside. It worked in heat 3. Will it work this time? The line they come. He darts out from behind him. He's going to try and go around the outside at Senna. Side by side. Is it going to work again into Ollie's? Oh no, you don't, says Mark Jones. Moves across him. This is allowing Tapscott and Edmonds to close in as well. Could have a four-way battle for the lead here. McBain's got the fastest lap, 42.195 last time through, as opposed to 42.255 for Jones. Mark's Motors MR2 leads the way. Jamie McBain has been a star of the weekend in the Peugeot. He's right out wide, 2 wheels onto the grass almost there, coming down Speedway straights. Again, he'll stick to the outside line, but look, Tapscott's nearly with him now. We know Alan Tapscott does like a bit of a lunge. We saw that at Blyton in round 1 with the Escorts. Try the outside again here, McBain. No, Jones is wise to him again. Look, he moves the MR2 a little bit wider than the previous lap. Tom Edmonds, great to see the Corsa keeping pace with the hitherto quicker cars as well. John Cross still 5th. Dan Swayland, in fact, has just done the fastest lap, 41.536, and he's at the back of the field. So they're all closing up together now. There's only about 4.5 seconds covering the whole field. There's the other two in the background. Jones from McBain. What's going to happen this time? This is where the Peugeot's stronger. There's the battle for 5th. John Cross has got the straight line speed advantage over Dan Swayland, so the Stratos clone leaves the Escort behind. Here they come. Towards the conclusion of another lap, McBain throws the Peugeot out wide using his rallying experience there, and he's got him! Oh, brilliant! Another superb move round the outside from Jamie Mighty McBain, and the Peugeot hits the front ahead of the MR2. Well, Jamie McBain is really firing a warning shot to his rivals here. He's going to be in contention, surely, for the pre-95 Classic title this year. Jones won round 1 at Blyton. John Cross won yesterday. It's going to be 3 different A-final winners if it stays like this. Now here comes Tom Edmonds. He wants to get on the podium in the Corsa. Up the outside are Tapscott's Escort Mark II. Tapscott, who used to campaign a Corsa in a more modified Corsa in the super modified category for several years. Into the last lap we go. McBain's last lap, a 40.917. Over half a second quicker than anything anyone else has managed. A little bit of smoke there from Alan Tapscott. We saw that in heat 3. Getting dusty out there now. The rain stayed away for a little bit. And look, Cross and Swayland are closing up as well. But Jamie McBain is absolutely rocketing away. Look at the lead he's built up in the Peugeot. Now he's out from behind the MR2. It's a race for second now. McBain has surely won it. Coming through the final turn. Here he comes into the Toyo chicane. A masterful drive from Mighty McBain. He takes the win in the Pre-95 Classic category, sponsored by Melius Limited. Second goes to Mark Jones, and goodness me, chaos there. What's happened to John Cross? John Cross has disappeared. There he is. He slowed on the last lap down into 6th. So the order was McBain, Jones, Tapscott, Edmonds, Swayland and Cross, almost as quickly as that. And on the last lap alone, or well, almost the last lap alone, once he got through, Jamie McBain got over 6 seconds clear of the field. That's how fast that Peugeot is. Phenomenal driving from Jamie McBain. Tapscott third. And then it was a photo finish between Swayland and Edmonds, and John Cross, unfortunately, with a problem on the final couple of corners. That's a great shame for the Stratos. There he is. What a superb race there between Mark Jones, Jamie McBain, everybody in the Melius Limited Pre-95 Classic Rallycross A final. 2 races to go then here at the Pembrey Circuit. Let's see again what's happened. There's John Cross slowing in the background, and we'll have a look at that finish again as Mark Jones came in to take 2nd place. It was Tom Edmonds who just beat Dan Swayland home. I wonder if Mark Jones had a problem there coming off the final turn. You saw the way he slowed up, and Tapscott nearly hit the back of him. Penultimate race of the day then, the SGS Gases MRF Tyres FIA Cross Car category. And this one we'll see number 55, Richard Rees, the winner of round 1 at Blyton, on pole. Alongside him, winner yesterday, Jack Newman, number 6. Completing the front row, number 721, which is Gareth Greer. Second row, 581, David Kane in the orange car. Alongside him, number 32, which is Stephen Burke. Row 3, 73, Max Weatherly in the white car. 501, David Atwell's bright blue machine. And number 23, which is Luke Holly. The final 2 on the grid, 88 Alex Waterman and 818 Lewis Gatt. I've just been sent to the grid for the super final as well, which we'll bring to you straight after that one. The super finals, of course, for the Dixon Trophy this year. I can tell you it's going to be Ben Sayers' BMW Mini on pole position for that one. Waiting the all clear to get our SGS Gases FIA Cross Car A final underway. This is going to be a good one, the biggest grid we've had for an A final today. Pole position for Richard Rees, looking for his 2nd A final win of the season, as is Jack Newman alongside him in the number 6. The revs are up and away they go. Gareth Greer gets away well from the outside of the front. There's a bit of squeeze, a bit of wheel banging down towards Hanson's for the first time, but it is Richard Rees, number 55, who's got the lead. Greer up into 2nd place. Trying to get around the outside is David Kane in the orange, number 581. As the swarm of wasps, it sounds like, heads towards the back of the circuit for the first time. Rees from Greer. Running out wide there, the 32 of Stephen Burke. 88 at the back of the field, that is Alex Waterman. They're all away cleanly. How sideways they get through. Brooklands out on the far end of the circuit. 818, look at the rear tyre deforming there under pressure. Lewis Gatt in the 818, he made a decent start from the back. It's Richard Rees in number 55, the French-built Miguel XC04 who leads the way. And clipping a tyre there, that's a 721. He'll lose 2nd place, he'll lose 3rd place as a result there. That was Gareth Greer. So he's lost a wheel arch as a result of that. Up into 2nd now is the number 6 of Jack Newman, the winner of round 2 yesterday. 3rd, it is 581, David Kane. There you can see that little bit of damage to the 721 of Gareth Greer. That's a legacy of that rubbing off the line, I think. 5th is Max Weatherly, Mad Max in the number 73. They start to settle in as best they can. SGS Gases Cross Car A final. Somebody slowing up there, I think that's Stephen Burke, number 32, that has pulled up. They charge their way through Paddock. Rees increasing his lead over Jack Newman in 2nd place. 581 David Kane up there in 3rd. He was 3rd yesterday as well. Round 1 at Blyton, Rees ahead of Newman and Greer. Round 2 yesterday, Newman ahead of Rees and David Kane. All the newcomers to the BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross Championship this year. These are the cars that put on a stellar performance in the live action arena at the Autosport International Racing Car Show in Birmingham in January. Simpsons, that's David Kane. The 581 car, that's the MV Racing machine. So many manufacturers coming into the championship this year. Down Speedway straight they go. Max Weatherly holding off Stephen Burke, number 32, so it wasn't Burke who had pulled off there, in fact. Unfortunately, my timing screen isn't working, so I can't tell you who it was. Richard Rees, though, doesn't matter for him, he's way out in front. Richard Rees in the clear from the number 6 of Jack Newman, under pressure now from David Kane. That was Lewis Gatz, number 818, who pulled off earlier on. Main battle here is for second place because Rees leads the way. Timing back into life. Jack Newman under pressure for second place from David Kane. Kane's got the fastest lap of the race, 39.187, but the rain is starting to come down again, so the lap times will drop off slightly. Got a slide there from Richard Rees through Ollie's. Great fight going on for fourth place as well. Gareth Greer under fire from Max Weatherly. There's Stephen Burke in 6th. Luke Holly 7th. David Atwell 8th. 9th is Alex Waterman. Lewis Gatt out of the race. See the circuit getting slippery again as they come out of the Carters onto the Speedway straights. A couple of laps to go for Richard Rees, looking for a final win number 2. That will make it 2 wins and a second in 8 finals this year, put it to the top of the championship. In the SGS Gases FIA cross car category. Towards Ollie's they go. David Kane looking very rapid here. New fastest lap last time through, that's why, 38.958. Certainly the quickest cars we've got here today. Sound incredible, they look incredible, and they provide incredible racing. David Kane on the inside takes second place, coming through Carters. So Kane into P2, and now going after Richard Rees, but he hasn't got much time here. Back at the inside, there's going to be a clash of wheels there, as Jack Newman lunges down the inside. I hope that hasn't broken the steering on the 581. But meanwhile, the checkered flag goes out. Richard Rees takes the win. Second goes to Jack Newman. David Kane does cross the line in third. Fourth, it is Gareth Greer, then Max Weatherly, Stephen Burke. Luke Holly is 7th. A quiet weekend for the former champion. And 8th place should be David Atwell in the blue machine, ahead of Alex Waterman. Just waiting for them to come across the line. Lewis Gatt, we know, is out of the race. There's Atwell home ahead of Alex Waterman. It is a win for Richard Rees, a final win number 2 for Richard Rees, ahead of Jack Newman. Looks like it's going to be a fight between those two for the title, given current form. They've been first or second in every A final so far this year. 2 victories to 1 in favour of Richard. Let's have a look again at that battle for second place between Jack Newman and David Kane. Coming into Carters, it was Kane who nosed up the inside, squeezed his way through into second place. Jack Newman made to fight back into Brooklands. He saw a gap on the inside. It wasn't quite big enough. They clashed wheels. I thought that had broken the steering on David Kane's car. It may have just bent it because he got home in third. But Jack Newman taking that second position, subject to official ratification. That's the end of the A finals. And we do have one more race to come, which is the Super Final. We'll bring you the grid for that one. We should have 10 cars out there. There are a list of reserves as well. The Super Finals this year, kind of mini-series in the BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross Championship, racing for the Dixon Trophy. Pole position will be number 77, Ben Sayer, with his BMW Mini. Alongside him, number 91, that's Alan Tapscott, the Mark II Escorts. Third on the grid will be number 611, which is Lynn Llewellyn's BMW Mini. Fourth on the grid, number 326, Corey Paget, though we may not see Corey out there because we didn't see him appear for his A final. Next, number 93, which is David Bell, the super modified BMW Mini. Row 3, number 546, that's Cameron Whitley's VW Polo. The 62 is next, Phil Chicken's Citroen C2. 626 Martin Peters completes the third row, the production Saxo. And completing the grid should be number 69, which is Harvey Harmon's BMW Mini, and the number 12 car which is Mark Jones's MR2. Those should be the 10 cars that we see for the super final. The only one we may not see is Corey Paget, in which case the first reserve is Alex Fletcher, number 218 in the Honda Civic. I'm just waiting to see if the cars appear for this one. Nobody in the assembly area as yet, but as we've said, some cars have only just finished their finals, so they'll just be refueling and so on ahead of the super final. There should hopefully be a super final at every round from now on, racing for the Dixon Trophy. The most successful driver over the super finals this year will be awarded that trophy at the end of the season in memory of Gemma Dixon, a friend of the championship, who passed away over the winter very sadly at a young age. It's great to see so many drivers have signed up for the super finals in Gemma's memory, so thank you to all of them. We're hopefully going to see our super final fairly shortly, but in the meantime, we can head down to Steve in the paddock.
Here with me is the winner of our cross car final, Mr. Richard Rees, number 55. What a race for you!
Yeah, it was a good race. Bit of a hard start, but we got there in the end. Yeah.
Well, it's been a bit of uppy, downy, ebb and flow with trials and tribulations over the whole weekend.
Yeah, we played a lot with the car to get it where it is now for this final, but yesterday with the changing weather conditions didn't help much. We struggled a bit, but with the P2 in the final, and then got today then and managed to have some good heats, so qualified in pole, and then we kept it from there really. Yeah,
because of course with rallycross it's always so important that first drag to the first corner and coming out with, as the Americans would say, the whole shot.
Yeah, it's especially here, it's really difficult to pass. Yesterday was impossible, but I think this direction of the track lent itself more to the racing. So yeah, but the start is really crucial today.
Your cross car is a Mygale?
Mygale.
Which is of which there are a few racing here, and probably lots more where people could come and join us in future. How different is it from some of the other manufacturers that are racing this weekend?
Yeah, so this is the only Mygale here. They're all much of a muchness. I mean, it's all done within regulations, so no diff and stuff. I suppose the biggest difference with this would be it's got inboard dampers on the front where every other manufacturer is outboard. So yeah, but it seems to be working quite well at the minute. We're getting good times out of it. Yeah.
So is that a lesser unsprung weight?
That's the purpose between the inboard dampers, yeah, to keep the weight inside the chassis of the car. So yeah, it's working at the minute.
Well, clearly it is after the win at Blyton in round 1.
Yeah, that was a win there as well, and we won the first round of the British as well. So that was it's working well at the minute. Yeah,
you're getting the hang of this, aren't you?
We try our best.
After how many seasons of racing with the cross car in other disciplines?
Second year in a cross car, really. We've done a lot of, you can do rally sprints in Ireland with them, with the Irish guys, and there's a lot of that going on, but this is the first actual year racing. Yeah.
Well, we'll wait and see what happens next time with BTRDA, where round 4 will be back at Blyton, and which of course seeing you on the top step of the podium. Well, let's see what happens again.
Yeah, I hope so. If it goes the same as last time, it'd be very good.
Yeah. Well, for today, and enjoy the spoils of your win. It's hard fought and hard won, and well deserved.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Good to hear from Richard Rees there. Certainly a force to be reckoned with in the SGS Gases cross car category. We're awaiting the cars for the super final to come to the grid. So it will be number 77 of Ben Sayer who will be on pole. We've already seen him win the BMW Mini category today. It's a bit of a random order, the grid for the super final. So it's a provisional grid because it's a rather open event for all categories out together except the juniors and the cross cars. Number 91, Alan Tapscott with the Escort Mark II. 611, which is Lynn Llewellyn. No movement of cars in the background at the moment for this one. Okay, while we wait for the cars to head out, then let's head back down to the paddock.
Any form of motorsport relies heavily on the black rings between the car and the road or whatever other surface that people are racing on, which in rallycross is pretty much anything. And the tyre provider for this season is MRF, and the provider of those tyres is James here from Waltham Services, who I also know as Dave. Yeah. It's been a busy weekend for you.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. Yeah, now we've inherited some other parts of the championship, like cross karts. We have a bit more work to do, which is good. It's nice to be able to support the whole championship in all the categories, pretty much. So yeah, it's good.
And in all weathers, and let's face it, over this weekend, and in fact even this afternoon, we've had all weathers.
Yes, we definitely have. Yeah, Pembrey's a bit like that, but then most motorsport circuits have got their own climate, haven't they? Let's face it.
Yeah, a very philosophical point, and it's very, very, very true. The number of airfields that we race in.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but no, it's been good. Next stop will be Blyton, I think, won't it? Blyton?
Well, we're heading off to Mondello.
Oh yeah, I'm talking of BTRDA.
BTRDA will be Blyton.
But Mondello for BRX, good. Yeah.
Well, and so what's have you got tyres for drier conditions and wet conditions, or is that just for certain of the categories?
Certain categories, so like cross karts, juniors, minis, they have one tyre for all conditions, dry and wet, and then retros or pre-95 classics, they can use whatever tyres are available. If we have wets that we can supply them, and dries for them as well in certain sizes, so yeah.
I think that flexibility for this year is because MRF do not yet produce tyres for all of the sizes, for the variety of cars in the classic category. When we've got 10-inch tyres needed for a classic Mini, up to much larger tyres for the Escorts and the Stratos, for instance.
Yeah, I mean the Stratos is okay. But, you know, we can supply tyres for that car because they use a supercar size tyre. MRF do some 10-inch tyres, so we can do probably those for Minis. It's just I'd say 95% we can sort out for them. It's just there's a few cars like Barry's Porsche, for instance, has got some quite wide rears on it, but we should be able to sort them out with MRF soon. They're going to do some cross-splice 15-inch for us, so yeah, I think that'll.
And of course, it's not just the supply, but you're also fitting. We've got the fitting machine right behind us. So, have you got any idea how many tyres you've fitted today?
Probably done 20 to 30. Not massive amounts, but it's we do a bit of swapping about for people and other things. So yeah, it's just you can never really put a number on. You don't really know what's going to happen at each event. You get some pre-orders, but then people buy on circuit. So yeah, yeah, very good.
And some circuits are a little bit more have a higher rate of attrition for tyres than others.
Yeah, Liddon Hill's quite bad for it. They're very abrasive there. Most other places aren't too bad. Blighton seems quite easy. Here's not too bad either. Liddon is the main one for the abrasive part of the circuit.
And I'm very pleased that you are anything but abrasive yourself. So,
Thanks.
So we'll leave you to do your final fittings and then the tidying up at the end of the meeting.
Yeah,
thanks for spending the time talking to us, James.
Right.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Cheers.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, man.
Well, we've just been told that apparently the final race scheduled, the super final, isn't going to take place. So that does conclude the action here at Pembrey today for round 3 of the Autosport International BTRDA Clubmans Rallycross Championship for 2024. We'll see you for round 4 at the end of June the 30th at Blighton Park Circuit in Lincolnshire. But it's goodbye till then.